Okay, guys, welcome back. Thank you first off to all of those that listened to our very first episode last week. Like, mad love to all of you that did that, because like we're still new to this and it's scary as hell, but like even though nobody can see us, we just, we want it to be good, that we're just speaking from our hearts. Anyway, super excited for this week. We have a fun topic that we're going to talk about, and our stories are very, very different. So this is like why it will be fun with what we're going to talk about. So Delancey, you want to tell them what we're going to talk about this week?
Yeah, I'm actually going to throw in there that I'm super thankful they can't see us, because I always look like, just a kind of little like wet rat after getting cleaned up after boot camp. So thank you for not having them see us. I appreciate that. But this week, on a serious note, this week we are going to be talking about bio dads, biological fathers, bio dads. They're just as important as bio moms. And since we talked about our bio moms last week, we thought it'd be important to talk about bio dads this week. So
yes, because I feel like it's one piece of the puzzle that a lot of people don't talk about. Even like when I find bio moms to talk to, like bio dads, there's just not a lot. So I love it when there are bio dads that are involved, because I feel like it's far and few between, like really, with a lot of people that I talk to. So, which is crazy. Anyway, do you want to start with yours?
I was going to say, I don't know. Like, do you want to?
Because mine
both of ours are like so different, and like, I mean, I can start with mine. I can leave with mine. That's completely fine, because
okay, cool.
Just like you said, the bio dads are a missing piece of the puzzle. They really are. And a lot of times they do not get talked about. And if they do, it's very briefly. Unfortunately, I will never get that piece of the puzzle for myself. My bio dad, passed away 2 years after I was born.
Yeah.
So that's been, and I'm gonna do my best not to like start crying, because I usually cry whenever I talk about him somehow, some way. It usually happens. I'm gonna try not to.
Girl, cry. Who cares? Cry. Just cry. It's emotion.
And it very much might, because it is very much it was a very hard reality. It's a very hard pill to swallow. I actually just posted a video on my Instagram that I had done on TikTok. I think it was yesterday that I had posted it. Someone had asked specifically how my bio dad had passed away. And I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail about that. That's a subject for another day. But he had passed away after exploratory surgery. And my immediate reaction, because I was so floored and overwhelmed that I found my bio mom. And then I was so excited that if I found her, then that meant that I would find him, because she had his last name. It was like, in my brain, it was so overwhelming, and it was so much, because all the pieces were coming together. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be, just a domino effect. It's all going to fall into place. It's all going to happen. Everything's going to work out. And I'm going to meet all these people. My family's going to grow. It's going to be amazing. And then out of nowhere, and it wasn't, I hate to say it's out of nowhere. To me, when I look back, it felt like it was out of nowhere, because she said, and I have to go look back at the message to get the exact wording, so I'm going to paraphrase the best I can. She said, I feel bad that I have to tell you this news, but he passed away back in 1986. And when I read that message, I had to pause and soak that in and realize, okay, I'm never going to meet this man. Like, I'm talking with her, I'm getting to know her, I'm going to have this relationship with her. I'm going to have this relationship with I'm with my younger siblings. And the realization hit that I will never meet him. And it was very hard. It's still hard for me to cope with that and to deal with that. I still process it. I still struggle some days, because I feel like there are still things that I would like to talk to him about, and I will not have that opportunity. Which absolutely, I mean, there's no other way to put it. It absolutely sucks. Like, it 100% sucks. But on the positive side, I am very blessed and lucky that she kept all of the notes and all of the letters and everything that he ever wrote her, where even the letter where he says, he said, I know this is the right thing to do for our baby girl. I know this is what we're supposed to do. I just can't sign the papers, but I support this, is essentially what his letters say. So there's no doubt in my mind that he loved me. There's no doubt in my mind that he made the decision that was right for me. I won't have that missing piece. And there's a part of me that wishes I did. And there's a part of me that always feels like I'll have like just like a little keyhole that's missing a little bit. But I'm very lucky that I'm able to, when I start to feel that way, I can go and I can read his letters and I can see that. So I know that people out there are going to have that same experience. I think that's the reason why I felt it was so important that we both share our experiences with our bio dads and with our knowledge so far, because we both have very unique stories behind them. And I think a lot of people out there are going to relate to what we've been through. But on the different note too, I also know my bio dad was a power lifter, which I enjoy working out. I did bodybuilding for a few years. So that was something we had in common.
Damn, I didn't know that, girl.
Wasn't like super cool or anything, but it was something that it was really big for me. It was before COVID happened. And
That's awesome.
I never claimed to be like, oh, I was going to go for my pro card. It was never anything that cool. But it was like, when she found out that I did bodybuilding, she was like, oh my gosh, Mark did, he did powerlifting. Let me tell you about all the stuff he did with his powerlifting. Let me tell you all about this. And then I talked to his best friend, and his best friend was like, in the conversation that he and I were having, he was like, oh my gosh, like you remind me so much of him, because he was a smooth talker, or he, and I'm in sales. So of course I'm a smooth talker. Like it's really, I say smooth talker, but we build relationships and we relate to people, and we can talk to people, and we like to make sure everyone's having fun and having a good time. And in conversations with them, like, there are certain things that I'll do that she'll say, yeah, you're just like him. Like he did that too, or he acted like that too. She even said when I was a baby, she goes, I looked at you and I said, oh my gosh, that's him. Even though I don't have him, I am very lucky that I have knowledge of him. So it is still hard though. So
yeah,
that's my dad.
No, yeah, and remind me, I'm so sorry if I missed this, because me yelling at my children in the background to hush. But do you have pictures of him? My guess is yes, right?
I actually have their wedding album.
Wow.
I have their wedding album. I have all the photos of him. I have their wedding video, which I want to get. It's a VHS, which for you people who are
younger people, yes,
that have no idea what a VHS is, I suggest you Google it for parents. I will not acknowledge that you don't know what that is. But I have I'm actually looking at it right now, his the American flag that was on his casket at his funeral. It's sitting in my living room. So
oh my goodness.
It's
remind me of this. Are you his only kid then? Like, okay. So there's even like more special meaning to that. Dang.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
That's awesome though. I mean, that's awesome that, as much as it sucks that like, he's gone and whatever, you have the knowledge of it, which, has got to be powerful. And, to have his best friends and stuff around to be like, oh my gosh, that's like totally what he did and this and that. It's crazy because like I said before, like with bio dads, I feel like are not hardly in the picture. And so it's rare, like with your case, like that they stay together. You know what I mean? Like
very rare that they, especially back then, very rare that they stay together and ended up getting married. And like, I don't know what would have happened if he had lived. You don't know the future. And they were both kids. They're pretty much kids. I know 19, 20, and 21-year-olds, like we all thought we knew everything at that age, but you're a kid. You're essentially a kid.
Girl, I got married at 19.
But we both talked about this earlier before we got on here. It's like a saint, like an absolute saint. So I can honestly say I'm very thankful I did not get married at 19, because not have worked out, but yeah. So
it's the freaking culture here, which makes me sick. Cause I'm like, tell Mia all the time, girl, you're waiting until you're 30, till you're 30 to get married, till you're 30. But no, and that's that's what I love about your story is that they stayed together because
Mhm.
it's so rare. And like, so right there, for me, at least I feel like that's even more love because they stayed together, yet, you know, they still placed you for adoption, which is like, holy cow. To me, I just feel like how much love they have in their heart, how much selflessness they have in them to like, you know what I mean? To me, it's just like, it's mind blowing because I
Well,
think
and
it'd be
it,
one of the hardest things.
even with him saying that it blew me away that even though he said he wouldn't sign the papers, he still understood and he still supported everything.
Right.
Like just and I get why he couldn't sign them. I mean, I can't ask him like, why did you sign the papers? Like, because reality is because he didn't sign the papers, they could have come back and gotten me.
Right.
From my understanding, but the fact that he knew it was the right decision, he admitted that in his like, you can't change that. And it's like, that's the thing I'm so thankful for is that no one can tell me how he felt at that time but him. And I can't ask him.
Yeah.
Can at least get a sense of it based on, and I'll tell you his letters, like there were so many letters, so many cards. I even have the mixtape that he made for her for when she came over here.
Oh,
I am such a so I'm so thankful for that. Just for, again, it's still hard that I won't have that actual reunion with him.
right.
Like that will never happen.
Yeah.
And that's really, really hard.
Yeah. No.
But I have a sense of him.
Yeah. Cause like
So that,
even though you didn't know him and stuff, it's still a loss. Like it's a loss being an adoptee already, but like then figuring that out and like that piece of it's missing. It's a, you know, it's just, it's a loss. And I understand that. And to your heart, you know, to the human heart, it's so hard. It's so hard.
and it's one of those things of I never knew you could grieve someone. Like okay, hold on, let me see if I can say this correctly, because the way I was gonna say that was not gonna flow properly at all. Like that was gonna be a complete all over the place. I never understood grieving someone that you've never met.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Until that moment.
Yeah.
Because it was one of those things of it legitimately felt like something was ripped away from me.
Yeah.
That I never knew I wanted to even have.
Right.
And then the second I realized, okay, I do want to have this, it was like, just kidding.
Right. Right.
Yeah, just kidding. Like we're not, but it's yeah, I mean it's, but I'm still thankful for the knowledge. I think the knowledge piece is the big takeaway from that. And for anyone that experiences that with their bio dad, is that getting as much knowledge about them as possible can help that healing.
Because like that's a fear. I don't know if that was a fear for you, but that was a fear for me when I was looking for a bio family, is that somebody wouldn't be alive when you found it. Like seriously, that was one of my biggest fears.
I can honestly tell you, I was so naive that that thought didn't even cross my mind.
Really? Yeah, no, that was like one of the first things that crossed me. Maybe it's because I'm from Colombia and it's like the drug capital of the world. Well, it was at that time. You know what I mean? So I was like, crap, what the hell? Yeah, but
well, and it's segueing into that, and we'll probably tie them back together. Tell your bio dad story real quick, because not real quick. Take your time. I'm not rushing.
No, you're good. So
Columbia, I want you to share yours because we're going to end up tying these together, I think.
Yeah, no, mine's interesting and weird, and I have hardly any pieces to the puzzle, which is actually really, really frustrating because being a mom and anybody that knows how children are made, it takes two people. It's not just one person. And so when I met my bio family, obviously I'm smack dab in the middle, 7 of us. And so, but then seeing all of them, and I get siblings in the same with this two same parents can look not like each other, but they have similarities. And so, but just seeing them, like all my brothers have green eyes, like except for One of them has super dark chocolate eyes like me, and then my bio sister has super dark chocolate eyes like me. Anyway, so we're talking about it, and come to find out, they don't really talk to her about things like as far as their dads go. There's no dads that have ever been in their life. Like she's very, very hush hush with that. Very doesn't, but I come back into the picture and I'm kind of like the black sheep of the family and the golden child, and I can ask anything I pretty much want, or I'm just ballsy and I do it. But I asked her straight up, I'm like, who's my dad? Like, who's my birth dad? Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, his name, I don't remember what name she told me. I think it was like Pedro. She's like, he knows about you. And she kind of left it at that. And then she told me the last time she had seen him was, because I always do the math wrong on this, but like it didn't calculate, because she said, you guys all have the same dad, but the math did not calculate with the youngest sibling. So she was like, the last time I saw him was like 30 years ago is what she said, but then the youngest was like 25. And I'm like, that doesn't add up. Like, you would have had to see him again in order to have him. Like, so
yeah, I was not excellent at math.
Yeah, and I think I said that right. So it was like the last time she saw him was way before the other one was born. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, that doesn't add up. But like talking to them, they kind of speculate, like me and the oldest and my bio sister all have the same father. And then my brother that's just older than me, and then my brother just after me have the same bio dad. And then the two younger brothers have the same dad. But, and here's what's hard is like people on social media too, like ripping her apart. They're like, well, why the hell can't she keep her legs shut? Why can't she do this? Why is she so with so many men? And I think I touched on it last week. Is like, it's not my place to decide what she wants to do. Like, she can do whatever she wants. But at the same time, for me, it's hard because it's made me have so much more gratitude with my own father, and very grateful that I have had a father figure my whole entire life. And he's one of the most amazing men ever. And like, he's everything and anything you could ask for in a dad, and like a good example, like as far as like, to my mom and stuff. But it still just sucks because like she's so weird about it. And so I'm hoping when I can eventually get down to Columbia, she'll just be open and honest and real about it. Because it's like, culturally, I've kind of learned too that it's just something that they look down upon them if they place babies, or if they like don't. But I don't know, their lifestyles are so very, very different than like kind of what I've been brought up with, like you want to get married, you want to have babies in marriage. And I get, if you have them out of wedlock, whatever, but it's so different there. It's so different there. And so just the unknown, it sucks. And I have nothing to like find them, because my parents couldn't even get a birth certificate from like her when I was born. And so like there was one that was drawn up for me, but like doesn't have her name, doesn't have his name. So again, I don't know if it's like you, where like I don't even know if parental rights are signed over or anything like that. I mean, my guess is yes. My guess is they did something because it was all legally done, but I don't know. It still sucks. It's still like the unknown, where that's like a big piece, because I see things in her, but I know it takes two people to make a human. And I would love to be like, what do I get from him? What certain qualities, certain things, certain mannerisms, because, I do certain mannerisms and things from her, but it's just, I don't know. It's a part of my heart that is still kind of lost. I'm hoping I can fill it, but I don't know if it's ever going to be filled. So it kind of sucks, but yeah.
See, that's where I know our stories are similar.
Yeah.
Because we have that part that we want answers. I mean, yeah. You can't that, and just like you, I had like the greatest dad in the world. Shout out, Dad. Love you so much. Like I know Melena, shout out to Melena's dad. She loves you too.
Yes.
It's like, it's still one of those things of, for me, I think, and I think for you too, it's just still nice, like you said, to have those answers. I mean, right. we have one half,
right?
It would have the other half. Now, okay, walk me through this again with you and your sister and oldest brother have the same. Okay, do they have any idea who
No, honestly, I think the most I could get, they have a really close family friend that I think if I went down there and I pulled her aside and had my little bio brother translate for me in English, I think I could get stuff out of her. I know there's aunts and stuff because my oldest brother lived with an aunt for a while when I first met them. There's probably stuff I could get out of her too. Just, I don't know. I'm really hoping and praying so hard that when I do make the trip down there, God will just open her heart and she'll be like, this is what it is. And because even just seeing a picture of him, how much closure that would give me, like so much.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. So, but
well,
yeah.
And that's where I think that's where our faith comes into it a lot too, is knowing that even if it's not what we want,
Right.
it's going to be what he knows that we need somehow. Yeah. And I think that's definitely where our faith comes in, where we have to, that's what keeps going, keeps us believing that it's okay. It's all right.
And that's what I can't fathom, is people that don't think like God's intertwined to all in adoption. Because it's like, are you blind? Like, do you not see everything that happened?
I will never understand how somebody doesn't see that, how people don't see that it's completely a God thing, that it's 100%, because everything has just like that, that adoptee that I was telling you about, that I talked to on Instagram. I mean, she even said it, a divine purpose. Like her bio dad passed away when she was 14 years old. She has never been able to meet him. And she was terrified to even look for her bio mom because her bio dad had already passed away. I mean, she's 60. She just turned 60 a couple months ago, I think is what she said. And she just reconnected with her bio mom.
Wow.
Because she finally got over the fear of the unknown, and that she decided that yes, this is time. And but her I mean, she never was able to, I think she connected with a half sibling from her bio dad. But
wow,
I mean, the unknown, I think, is the part that with bio dads that gets it. Like, it's like you said, 6'2". And if we don't know anything, we can create any scenario in our head.
Exactly. And of course, with that kind of crap, sometimes that scenario doesn't go well because we're our own worst enemy. And so it's,
oh my gracious, fear will jump in and create the absolute worst scenarios.
Oh, it's so true. Yeah.
100%. And the crazy thing is like you said, you went into it worried that somebody had passed away. That, like I said, that thought never entered my brain. Not one time thought entered my brain. I was so worried about hurting my family. I was so worried about that, about something happening to hurt my family, that never even was an option.
Yeah.
I can honestly say I'm curious. I'm really curious to see when you get down there and you have a face-to-face.
I know what unfolds. I know because I feel like then she can't really be like, well, I mean, maybe she still can, but I mean, y'all know me and I'm pretty relentless and ruthless if I'm like, I just,
body language does not lie when it's in person.
No, it's true. Like, and so I'm just hoping, I'm just hoping like so much. And I know, there's so many things I could go off of, like for other topics for us to talk about. Cause like, there's so much that goes into it. Like, medical history for me and that kind of stuff. And like, I don't know, that's something we're going to have to talk about one time, is medical history growing up as an adoptee and stuff, because even to this day, it's frustrating because she don't say anything about it.
I was about to say, I guess I'm one of those weirdos, and I'm like, medical history adopted. Underline. I move on with my life. I'm with you on that. And see, that's the scary part too. And it's like, and I won't dive too deep into that at all, into this part at all, just because I feel like this is a completely different topic for another day. Right. But like, even with his family, I didn't, and that's again reasons we'll talk about another day. I wasn't able to really get a full understanding of medical history. Yeah. And it was one of those things that I kind of didn't want to.
Right.
I feel like I've made it this far. I've made it this far being perfectly okay.
I love it. No, I love it. No, I get it. Like, yeah, no. And I mean, like, let's be real. There's so many people that know their medical history anyway, and things pop up that are like the unknown, you know? Yeah.
Exactly. And like and that's like it would, again, a piece of the puzzle that, I mean, we could find out, we could research, but you know, a simple, like, you know, doing blood tests and stuff like that and blood work every once in a while, it does the same exact thing as checking off boxes on paperwork.
Right, exactly. No, exactly, for sure.
I mean, I there's who are nurses, if they like, when they listen to this and they hear that, they're gonna like die and then roll over in their grave and tell me, no, Delancey, more goes into that than just, you know, what you think it does. And I'm sure it does. I'm sure there's more to it than what I'm saying, but I feel like it's very simple.
I think for me, hang on.
Oh, we have a child. I see a child. Okay, for doesn't realize, Milena has like 100 kids. I have my dog that likes to jump in my lap and jump around and like make whenever we're talking to each other.
It's called My Husband's Out of Town, so he can't wrangle them. Yeah. They're usually pretty good, but my littlest came in and I think he was telling a lie. He's like, Mia's sad. And so she came in and she's like, I'm fine, Mom. Anyway, I think one of the weirdest things for me with like the medical history thing, and I shouldn't even, it's just weird putting adopted. For me, it's weird putting adopted because like, yeah, I'm gonna save it for another day because we need to talk about that in more full conversation.
I think we need to add that to our list in case y'all don't know going right now, so that we try to stay on topic and we don't have squirrel moments, because we will do that. We
totally. I'm gonna add it right now, but seriously.
Definitely we need to talk about that for sure, because like you said, it's just like the biodad part doesn't get spoken about a lot. Yeah. You know, medical history and I mean, people will talk about the necessity of that, because I'm sure you've had people comment that on your videos, just like they've commented on mine. But I mean, it's important. So yeah, we definitely need to, you wrote that down. So I'm very excited you wrote that down, because my notebook is across the room and I'm not going to go get it.
No, and I think it'd be fun eventually when we do start bringing like guests on and stuff, is like picking bio moms' brains and just asking like how the whole process went with, because I know I'm trying to think, I don't know if any of the bio moms I've interviewed, if they're still like together, or I know some are still maybe in contact, but it'd just be interesting to have them come on and talk more about bio dads, like, because it's so, well, we should. Because I mean, there's even adoptees who have met their bio dads too, who like their parents may have not stayed together, but like, you know, they've had contact and stuff. So,
well, see, and that's the other thing is I would really like to hear from some more bio moms. I think I've been very, 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 and again, capital VERY, very blessed that in my bio mom has been so forthcoming with every bit of information. Yeah. I so incredibly blessed by that, because I know, much like with your experience, I know there are other adoptees out there where the bio mom just doesn't want to talk, like, not just doesn't want to talk about it, or it's something they would rather not speak about, or maybe there was something that happened that makes want to talk about it. And I know it can be it can be touchy, but much like for you, I think it's important. Yeah. That knowledge to be out there.
Agreed.
I think that's very important. I mean, and I hope that for you so much, that she opens up her heart and she tells you every bit that she can, because even like I said, even just the knowledge is so healing.
Just prayers, lots of prayers, and I think we'll get her to change her mind.
I think she will. I think when she physically sees you, and here's the question, she will be more open.
I hope so. I
believe that. I really think so. Do you think there's any way that, because isn't it right now your little brother is translating?
Yes, my youngest is so crazy. And this is another thing. Like, I mean, I talked about last week, the youngest one, he has family that comes because he was like, he was going to be placed too, but they didn't want him to. So he went with like a godmother. Anyway, she has kids that fly back and forth from the States. And so when they would come to Colombia, they would only speak English to him. And I'm just like, that's another miracle in the piece of my puzzle, is that they made him learn English. So, but
so he's the only one that speaks English that's bilingual.
Yeah. What I really need to do, and I was just talking to, I don't know if I was talking to you about this or my husband about this, but like my husband's friend in Colombia, I just need to like have him pull him aside and just be like, hey, can you do this for me? Because there's like no ties. You know what I mean?
I think that'll help her too, is if you, because we were talking about that. You may have talked to your husband, but I know we talked about it as well. I think that just to give her comfort, to know that it isn't anybody from her family that's listening. Because how old's your baby brother?
I think he just turned 26.
26. Yeah, that might be hard for her.
Yeah.
To say that, especially if she's saying, you know, you all have other to tell him, you don't. That would, I think that's a really great idea to have. Friends.
I know. And honestly, there's so many people here too that I know that speak Spanish that would totally help me out. I just need to find somebody and have them do it. Like, let's be real. Like, it'd probably be easier to have, but that's the thing, is like, I feel when I call, because my two brothers live with her, they're always around. So I think I just need to make it known and be like, this is a call just between me and you and the translator. Like, do not allow our brothers in there. I think I just need to set my foot down and do that.
Well, do you think it should be on the phone, or do you think it should be you and a translator and her when you make it down to Colombia?
And that's the thing, is he'd be the translator. So, I mean, but we could probably get my husband's friend to come over, like, to where we're at and do it. Cause I don't know. I think the family dynamic would be so much harder to get more information out of my bio dad, like using my little brother to translate versus, you know, somebody else.
Right. Well, see, yeah, I was going to say, like, that's going to be the harder part, is using the brother. But if there have to be, even if it's not your husband's friend, there has to be like translators or something around. I would think, I mean, I would hope, because completely lost without a like, so there has to be, I would think there'd be somebody, that way it's you and her and the translator, and y'all can go somewhere.
Right.
Oh, there's no way, you know what I mean? Like, like that creates a wall to where she's here to be able to help you. Because I mean, I could imagine her fear, like, even like it's just between us, and like tell them not to come in the room. They could still come in.
Oh yeah.
And or
100%.
listen at
exactly. I know. The thing is, I just need to get down there. It just scares the shit out of me to go down there, but I'll get down there one day.
Zach Williams band wrote a whole song about fear is a liar. That is my favorite song to listen to if I'm starting to feel anxious about something.
Good.
You need to go check the song.
I'm gonna write that down. Okay, hang on. Yes. Hopefully my kids aren't too loud. Okay. Awesome. Anything else on biodads?
I think, let's see. They're super important. Or not, they're just as important as the bio moms. Like, I'm just recapping everything that we talked about for the
No, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
They're just as important as the bio moms, because like you said, it takes two.
Yes.
And knowledge is very healing.
Yes.
So much knowledge is, if for whatever the outcome is, as much knowledge as we can find out is always possible, and it is always healing, and it's helpful. And then be ready to accept whatever knowledge comes your way, even if it's a curveball.
Right. I mean, it's hard, and you know, that's the thing, is like, grieve through it and work through it. And it's just like kind of an interview I had earlier. It's like, don't sit in your shit. That's what I'm going to always say. Don't sit in it, because it makes you the most miserable human being. And the only person that hurts is you, not the other person. Like, one thing with the bio dads, like, it has given me such a love, and I don't know that my dad will listen to this. I know my mom listens to these, but like, such a love, and she can tell him, Mom, you can tell Dad this. Like, I love him so much, and having my husband and seeing the kind of dad that he is, like, my heart is so full, but yeah, my heart aches a little. I'm gonna get all emotional, like, to not know that puzzle piece. Like I have so much gratefulness and abundance, but at the same time, it's like, if I could just know a little bit. But I know sometimes you like meet those people and they end up being real shitty dads. And so that's why I'm like extra grateful for my dad.
Right. Oh, I completely agree, because I just wish that mine could have met.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because my mom and my bio mom are able to have that relationship together.
That's awesome.
Like to where they talk, and like it's kind of like my bio dad doesn't get to meet my dad.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
I look at him and say,
yeah,
you know, she's a mess, but she is a blast. She, you know, she keeps us on our toes. Like it's, you know, like, thank you for making this decision. Like, and that's, like you said, it's that missing piece.
Yeah.
To be able to put it together. And
exactly.
it's just, it's important. I still stand by it. It's important. It's super important.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Anything else on bio dads?
That's it for now. I have a feeling we have a couple of topics we're going to circle back to as later. We kind of touched on, but not really. So yeah, I think we did a pretty solid job staying. I'm pretty proud of us. We stayed topic.
Stayed on point. Yes.
Point. It's only our second episode. We're still learning.
I know. Yes. I know. And it's good. And seriously, we're so excited for this because we just want to help educate people. And I noticed like with Delancey, like our biggest thing is like, we want people to see it can be yucky and messy, but you need to heal from that. And we honor people that are going through hard things with any type of adoption, part of adoption. But that does not give you the right to be an ornery ass and a bitch to everybody on the internet. Like, that's my biggest thing is like, you don't want to bring everybody down. Like you
preach it.
Like we honor that hurt. And when me and her see adoptees that are hurting, all we do is pray and just send as much love possible their way, because it's just like, and that's why we want to be open, honest, and real. And we're not discrediting their stories by all means, but at the same time, nobody wants to live in shit. Like, let's be real. You just rolled around in dog shit. That'd be disgusting. You'd stink. Nobody would want to be around you, and gross. That's no way to live your life.
I didn't even want to be around me after I left boot camp tonight. I couldn't anything else going on. Like, that's disgusting. Like, but you're so right. And it's so true, because you can't live there. Yeah. You can, I mean, shining example. I still grieve sometimes.
Yes.
And I still get sad. I still, like, even the interview that I did with you, my sister commented to me. She was like, I can't believe you held it together. Like, if I had started crying like you did, I would have completely broken and not be able to continue. And I was like, oh, I know there's no other option but to carry on.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have these emotions, you can be upset, you can be angry, you can feel whatever, but when you start using that, like, if you use not having any knowledge about your bio dad as an excuse to be rude to people, or if I used the fact that my bio dad passed away as an excuse to be rude to people, when does it stop?
Exactly.
We can't use that as an excuse. That doesn't, and I'm not, again, like you said, not discrediting, not taken away, but you can't let that make you into a mean person, a rude person, a terrible person.
Exactly. And it's not just with adoption. That's what frustrates me. It's like, there's so many instances, like, people just rip people apart. And I'm just going to say therapy. If it takes you 5 billion years to get where you need to be, like, I've only been in therapy for like less than 6 months, and I cannot believe how much it has healed me. Like, not just with adoption crap, but with other stuff. Like, go talk to somebody about it. Don't blast it on the internet. Like, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate this. I hate this. You're a bitch. Like, that doesn't do anybody any good.
It does. I'm telling you, social media and the internet, it's like, it's great, but it's created that keyboard warrior.
Yes.
I'm attack you because I'm hurting, so I'm going to make somebody else hurt because that makes me feel better, to tear them down. Like, I just don't, that's not why God has us on this earth at all.
And that's my favorite thing. Yeah, no, about me and you is, you guys, you've been following us. You both know that both of us, like, I don't know exactly for you, but it wasn't until I turned 30 that I really had a good, close relationship with God. 30 people, like 30, you know, like it takes time to get to God. But like, that's the thing is like, once you see that, it opens up.
If it helps any, I mean, I've always had it there, but it's true, solid, 100% like serving. It's honestly been within the last year.
Yeah.
That I just, and it was all to get back to like the church I'm in now is what brought me closer. And it's because of everything that I've, I've gone through and everything with, whether it's adoption or whatever, like I didn't live in it. Like I did my best to put on the best performance ever and to be supportive of everybody else. And it was just exhausting. And then I finally figured out, hey, wait a minute, hold on.
Yes.
You're not exactly getting your cheer and joy from the right place anymore. Like, still believed, was a Christian, but not a full servant's heart Christian, I guess is the.
No, it's so true. That should be a topic, because I was talking about that the day on my stories is God. Like how it's crazy to me. And maybe it's because I found my comfort zone with it. Like how many people, when I still do certain things and talk, like they're so iffy to talk about their belief in God and this going on with God. And I remember being there before I solidified my belief in God. And so I think that's maybe something we should talk about too.
I know, I 100% agree, because everyone, again, just like everyone's adoption journey is different, everyone's journey to God is different. Everyone's journey is different. And it's, if anyone, I'm not gonna jump into it because I'll end up going on a tangent. I recognize what I was about to do, and I pulled myself in. And you know what? No, I'm gonna say this real quick. I am so thankful, because when I started following directly, and it's so funny because my sister even said this to me. She was like, "Listen, have you noticed the changes in your life since you started doing exactly as he's leading you?" And she's like, "You're not making shortcuts. You're not doing this. You're not doing that." Like, I'm like, yeah. And I finally realized yesterday, today's Tuesday, Sunday, one of the reasons why I'm so thankful that I did that, because I met a mom who adopted a little girl who's now like tween. Is that what it's called now? A tween, preteen?
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, I don't know what this terminology is anymore. Like I feel like I'm too old to learn new stuff. I feel like my nieces and nephews are going to die when they hear me say that I'm too old to learn new stuff. But adopted her from Russia.
Oh, wow.
So imagine right now in the climate we're in, she was adopted from baby, brought over from Russia, just like you were brought over from Colombia, just like I was. To me, it's all the same. Agreed. Just like I was up from Jacksonville, taking to Gainesville. Ooh, I almost said that super Southern. Jacksonville, taking to Gainesville. To me, it's all the same. We were all babies.
Yeah.
And we were raised in homes filled with love.
Yeah.
And thankfully with God and lovely families. And imagine that little girl is having to hear horrible things right now.
Oh, for sure.
From her own age.
Yeah.
That are inherited from somebody else, from their parents or from the news and stuff, because they all know she's Russian. They don't hide. And I got into such an interesting conversation with her mom. I cannot be convinced otherwise that was God that put me in this church, in this volunteer group, to be able to talk to this mom and build a relationship with this mom and talk to her and explain and listen to her and encourage her and support her and be like, it's going to get better. She's 12. Kids suck anyways. Let's just be real.
They do. But like, I wouldn't know you at all. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. Granted, yes, it took me the courage to like message you and be like, hey, you want it? And like, but you know what I mean? Like everything I know for like having these people come into my life and everything, like, yes, it's me doing the work, but at the same time, I know God is like, hey, Melina here. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, see, and that's the thing, you messaging me. And the more I've gotten to know you, I mean, I put that in my story immediately. It's like, I've been praying, trying to figure out how I can how I can get involved with a platform to share my story, share my experience, meet somebody who's like-minded, to share the mission and to help others, encourage others. And, ding.
We're doing it.
send you a message, and I'm
We're
like,
doing
oh,
it.
yes. What's this message? And you can't tell me it's not a God thing. And the fact that we both, even though our situations are different with our bio dads, like
Right.
start back. I want everyone to notice I'm circling us back. Circling back to dads, even though they're different, they still intertwine together.
Exactly. Yeah,
like
exactly.
And that's something that you can't convince me otherwise, that that's not a God thing too. Like to be able to connect the two and connect the dots to help people. And I just hope we are. I hope we're helping somebody, even if it's just one person.
No, and that's the thing. That's how I feel. Like, we 100% will, because I actually had one of my followers reach out to me, and she's like, I talk to my mom about you all the time, but my mom doesn't have Instagram. And I just told her you launched a podcast, and my mom is so excited. So you know what I mean? Like, so yeah,
God.
There we go. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And it's just going to compound, because we ain't stopping. We ain't giving up. We're going to do this. And we're going to get lots of crap out of that. So
can you imagine once we get like super comfortable doing this?
we're gonna have like our fancy microphones and everything, be ready to go. It's gonna be dope. We're gonna get it eventually. But no, I love this, because you have to fumble forward in order to get anywhere, and that's exactly what we're doing, and I love it. So, okay, well, I think that's it, right? Thanks, guys, for listening to our episode on
stopping point before we start going down a tangent.
Bio dads. But you guys, seriously, we will have guests on, but we want to kind of just configure us first. So it's going to be a little bit down the road, because we want to talk about things. But of course, we have people, we have connections. We're going to bring all the peeps on, because it's always good to get somebody's different perspective. And it's not just always going to be adoptees. We want to get the triad. So anyway,
everybody involved, adoptees, bio, family, siblings, parents, everybody. Also, though, go to our Instagram, send us DMs. Let us know your stories with us. We would love to be able to share that as well, or your questions. And I know we've been, asking people to send us questions and that we can answer. And I know we've both gotten some responses, and we're going to touch on that. And we're going to answer everything that we get. Now, if you get down to where it's like crazy, like $500 DMs a day, $500 a day would be kind of cool too. But 500 DMs a day might take us a minute, but we'll get there.
Right. Exactly. We just want to help change the world, make the world a better place, really. Is like, that's what I love about Delancey. That's like always been my mission. And then I found her, and now I can do it with my friend. So it's even better. Anyway, Kate, thanks so much for listening this week, you guys. We will see you next Wednesday. We love you all. Thanks for listening to us. And just thanks for being here with us.